Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Sarah, and today I'm going to be filming a what's in my hospital bag. It's going to be my personal bag, not the baby's bag, because I feel like the baby's bag is just like pretty basic. It just has clothes for the baby, a couple like little blankets, things like that, swaddle blankets. And then honestly, I think that's it. I have a gift for my son that's going to be from the baby to my son in there, but it's pretty like bare in there. I actually feel like I'm going to use that bag more to put things that they give me at the hospital in, and so it's kind of just has a few blankets and some clothes for right now. Not that exciting, but I thought it would be a lot more helpful to talk about what I'm going to bring because I am having a C-section and it is my second C-section. So last time when I had a C-section, it was unplanned, but it wasn't an emergency. But I did not pack my hospital bag geared towards a C-section, and I definitely have this time. So I thought that'd be very helpful for anyone who is going to be going into a C-section or has like a high chance of having a C-section. So there's going to be a lot of things that a lot of people typically bring that I'm not bringing because I am not having a vaginal delivery. I also wanted to touch on a few things that I think are very necessary for the first like week or so after you have the C-section, but you don't need to bring to the hospital. I'm just gonna have these things right next to my bed ready to go. So I thought I would share those things too because honestly, there's not a whole lot that I'm bringing in my bag. I feel like sometimes people go overboard and there's just a lot of like just in case items, but because this is my second baby, my second C-section, I feel like I narrowed it down to things that I think I will probably use. So it's not gonna be this huge list. There are a few things that I'm just gonna leave at home and have ready when I get home. So let's jump on into it. First of all, my bag. I love this bag. It's just like a dark blue and white with these like camel, like brown handles. It has brown at the bottom too in the corners. And this bag I actually got 2 years ago from Target, specifically for my hospital bag with my son. And so now I'm using it again for my daughter, and it's really like the perfect size. I like having just a big open bag because if I want to section things off, I can throw them in like gallon Ziploc bags to kind of make it easier to find, but there also are a few smaller compartments on the side, so it really like works out well, just like an easy bag, easy to carry, easy to throw in the car. So the first thing that I have that I feel like everyone should have, really, I mean, it like ups your comfort level so much, and that is having a really cozy blanket. You know, whatever type of blanket you want, and honestly this one is pretty like thick. It's not super big, so it's probably the size of like a twin bed, but it's thick, so I could even use this as a pillow. I could prop myself up on my side. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna do that one after the C-section, but like in theory, if you were gonna stay there before you had the baby, this is just like a really like convertible, like you could use this for a lot of things, but you could also just use it as a blanket and get cozy. And sometimes your feet are gonna be really cold, sometimes you're gonna be really hot, you don't know, but I think it's nice to just have something from home that's just like really comfortable. The sheets and the pillows and the pillowcases are really scratchy in the hospital. I just stayed there for 24 hours a few days ago, so it's fresh in my mind. So definitely gonna bring that. And I actually am gonna bring one of my own pillows. I sleep with a bunch of pillows right now because of pregnancy and everything, getting comfortable. But I'm just gonna bring like my favorite one, and then if I need a couple extra pillows, I'll just use the hospital pillows. That's not a big deal. But I just wanted at least one of my own to bring as well. So I guess on the topic of like comfort, I'm also gonna be bringing my boppy, and this is the same boppy I had with my son. It is just really essential to me when you are nursing the first couple days, just to get in the right position. And I know it seems like if you have a C-section, you're like, I don't want anything by my stomach, but you can kind of put it on your side and like do a football hold while you're nursing, and that works really well. I just think it's really good to have in the hospital because the hospital pillows are just really flat and not very like fluffy. So if you need something to actually prop up your baby, you probably would need like 4 of the hospital pillows. So I think a boppy or something like that is really nice to have. So jumping on into the smaller items. So one thing that I am bringing that I've never tried before, but this time around I feel like I need something like this, and this is After Ease. I know a lot of people talk about this, and I'm really curious to try it. I think you just put a couple drops in water, and it's supposed to help with the cramping while you're nursing after you have the baby. And for me, I was not expecting that to be as painful as it was. And it's definitely just as painful when you have a C-section, because it's essentially your uterus is going back to size. So regardless of how your baby comes out, your body has to get your uterus back to size, and you're gonna definitely have some, in my opinion, pretty painful cramping while you're nursing the first couple days after you have the baby. So last time that was pretty bad, and I kind of just sucked it up. I didn't really know much about like ways to make that better, and I know that with your second, third, fourth baby it gets worse each time, so I'm definitely hoping that that can help me a little bit. We'll see. But I have something else that definitely helps with the cramping and the pain postpartum that I will talk about in my pile of things that are going to be by my bed too. This next thing is just a little stomach wrap. It's like a really basic one that literally just velcros in the front, and this was actually given to me by the hospital last time I had my C-section, and I just felt like I should bring it because that's exactly what it's for. And like I know that they'll probably give me a similar one this time around, but just in case either they don't or they give me one that I don't like as much, I know that one worked really well, so I'm just gonna bring it just in case, just as kind of like a backup option, because you definitely, I feel like especially with a C-section, you need to have that stomach wrap on, because you're gonna have bandages on your incision and you just want to keep everything tucked in and nice, and you don't have to worry about bleeding or bandages moving around and stuff like that. It's just really nice to have that wrap on pretty much 24/7 for like at least the week after you have the baby. I think I wore mine for longer than that, and I know some people wear it for a lot longer than that, but I think at least for that first week where you really feel like you were like falling apart, I think that's necessary. So I know pretty much every hospital will give you that. I think it might even be mandatory if you have a C-section to give you something like that. So you can ask your hospital if you're unsure, but if it's your first C-section, I wouldn't worry about necessarily buying one. You can see which one they give you, and honestly, I wore the one they gave me for probably 2 weeks and it worked out great. So in most cases, I think the one they give you is gonna be exactly what you need. I am bringing this cute little mirror that I thought would be nice to have, because just who knows, last time around I didn't really even think about my appearance, but last time I had HELLP syndrome, I was on a lot more drugs, I was a lot more tired because the night before the C-section I stayed in the hospital and I was in a lot of pain, and so I had like no sleep that night, and then I was going into having the C-section multiple nights with the newborn in the hospital, and I just was not getting sleep, and I was on magnesium, and that makes you tired too, so I was kind of out of it. But this time I'm thinking I might be a little bit more aware of what's going on and wanting to maybe put on a little bit of makeup, at least comb my hair, maybe use like a face wipe. So I just thought having that mirror, since it's small, would be nice to have. Along those lines, I have my little toiletry bag just in a gallon Ziploc bag, super simple, because if something leaks or, you know, gets messy or whatever, it's just nice to have it in a bag that you can throw away. So I just have some makeup wipes. I have 2 dry shampoos because one is like half empty. It might be pretty much empty, I don't know. So that's why I bought a new one. Because honestly, in terms of toiletries and like personal things that you might need at the hospital, they have a lot for you, but I feel like dry shampoo is gonna be the one thing that I'm like desperate for, because here's the thing, and this is probably gonna be controversial, people watching this, that I've had a baby before. I I don't want to take a shower in the hospital at all. And I think if you have a vaginal delivery, it's a little bit easier to get up and move, and it feels really nice. People say it's like refreshing, but C-sections are hard. And it's just the first like 48 hours, man, getting up is so challenging. And I don't want to scare anybody because it's doable. They'll give you pain medication, whatever you need to feel okay. They'll pretty much give you as much pain medication as you need to be able to get up and walk to the bathroom. That's pretty much their goal. So you'll be okay, but it's hard and you just feel really weak. Like your legs and your stomach and your core and everything just feels really weak. So the thought of standing up in a shower for that long was so scary to me. And honestly, I'm just kind of grossed out by hospital showers anyway. So my plan is, especially since I'm hoping I know the day that I'm gonna have the C-section, if something happens beforehand, then, you know, that will throw things off. But if I go in on my scheduled C-section date, then I'm gonna take a shower that morning and have fresh, clean hair so I can last 3 or so days and go home and then take a shower, and my husband can help me in our shower, and it will be a lot nicer. And I think I'll need that extra day or so of like going home and getting my bearings and just feeling like I have the like muscle strength to do that, because I just remember that seemed really overwhelming. So this hospital bag is geared towards not taking a shower at the hospital. I do not plan on it. I think if I really needed to, if I like had the sudden urge to, I think they have shampoo and conditioner there, and I'm gonna bring a brush and all of that stuff, so like I could take a shower if I wanted. They have towels, but I'm not planning on it. So I think I'm going to be obsessed with my dry shampoo, and if I want to take a few pictures, it's gonna be necessary. So other things that I have in here, I have just a ponytail, I have a chapstick. Those are two things that everyone talks about as really necessary, and I think that that is just good for anyone to have regardless of how you're going to be having your baby, because hospitals get dry. And so on that note, I also have just a little bit of like hand lotion, just something really simple, because you shouldn't have anything like too like fragranced when you have a newborn, but you might get dry, because that just tends to happen to people in hospitals for some reason. I don't quite understand that. But I also have just like this face mist, and I never know how to say this brand, so I want to show it to you guys. But it's just like a really just like refreshing face mist that, I don't know, I always bring with me when I feel like I might just need a little pick-me-up. Toothbrush and travel size toothpaste. So that is everything in like my basic essential toiletries. It's not a lot of stuff, but like I said, I'm not going to be taking a shower. I'm not going to be doing anything crazy, but I am bringing that mirror. And so I am going to be bringing some makeup, but that is actually packed on my vanity that has all of my makeup, and I've just been like going through that and like using that on a daily basis so that it all stays packed in that bag. And then when we are going to the hospital, I can just grab that bag and throw it in my bigger hospital bag. So I am going to be bringing some basic makeup, but it's already packed, and it's kind of like the things that I use on a daily basis. I'll just throw that in there, and if I use it, I use it. If I don't, it's not a big deal. But I just thought, since this time is going to be a little bit more relaxed, I might want to. In terms of a going home outfit, I was a little bit torn on what to wear, because honestly, when I was postpartum with my son, I just wore like nightgowns at home all day, every day, until I was ready to like be a human and go outside and wear actual clothes. So I'm like, I don't want to go home from the hospital in a nightgown, but this is kind of the closest thing. And this is just like a really comfortable, stretchy, long dress. And I know it's not nursing friendly, but I'm thinking that I'm just gonna throw this on right before I leave the hospital and go home and change into my nightgown, honestly. So I'm not like super worried about it being nursing friendly. I'm also gonna have the outfit that I wear when I go there, which I don't know exactly what that's gonna be yet, but it will probably be like maternity leggings and a t-shirt or something, so I could always wear that home too if I wanted. But I just feel like that, not having anything touching my waist, I'm gonna actually, bringing me to the next thing, I'm gonna have some really granny panty, you guys, like these go up so high, like really granny panty underwear that go up really high, like to my belly button, and they're black, and I'll wear those home. So that's gonna make it so that it does not touch anywhere near my incision. It can go like up, like underneath my stomach wrap, and then I'll have that dress on, so literally nothing will be touching anywhere near my incision, because that's just like, for some reason I have like a phobia of that. Even if it's not tight, it just freaks me out, and it's gonna be painful if it's like rubbing or, you know, constricting at all. So that's my plan. I think that's what I'm gonna do for going home. I also just recently got a robe that I'm going to bring. It's just a really simple like gray, and it has like lace detail. Just a really simple robe that I may or may not wear in the hospital. Last time I wore the hospital gown the entire time, and then like 5 minutes before I left I changed into my going home outfit and that worked out fine for me. I didn't think twice about it, but also, like I said, I was kind of out of it and like super tired, so this time I might actually want to be a little bit more comfortable. I'm also bringing, this is pretty much like a nightgown, just like a black, really comfy nightgown, like a tank top. So I can wear like my nursing bra and that, and just like lounge around in that, and that might be a good option if I want to change out of the hospital gown, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes and see like how long I'm actually staying there, but I feel like it's good just to have maybe one option of something that you could wear there if you really feel like you want to get more comfortable, but chances are you might not even want to change out of the hospital gown. Next, I am bringing just a really basic nursing bra, and this is actually from Amazon. It has the clips up here so you can nurse, but it also opens so that you can pump. And I don't know what is going to happen with my breastfeeding journey. Last time I was pumping in the hospital and I was trying to breastfeed, but it just like wasn't going well. So I don't know what I'm going to end up doing exactly, but I thought if I'm going to invest in a new nursing bra, I should get one that you can pump with as well, because I think there's a pretty high chance I'm going to be pumping during some portion of this postpartum experience. I also just brought a sports bra, and I don't, maybe if I just want to be like super comfortable, because this is super like stretchy and everything, and you can always pull these down and nurse. Like honestly, sports bras are good for nursing in my opinion. So if I just wanted to be super comfortable, but like maybe the nursing bra was just a little bit too structured for me, I don't know how I'm gonna feel. But I do know that it helps with your milk supply if you don't have like underwire or anything like too constricting for a bra. So just wearing super loose nursing bra, like a sleeping bra kind of thing, I think that's ideal to help your milk come in and not like restrict that at all. Next thing I have is just a pair of just comfortable socks, because you never know, you might have cold feet, and it sucks to have cold feet and not have socks, and I would prefer not to use the hospital socks. And next I have just some really simple shoes. These can get wet, so if I wanted to take a shower, I could use these, but also I'm thinking they'd be nice just to throw on when I'm coming home. I don't know, sometimes your feet are weird when you're pregnant and postpartum, so my feet might still be like a little bit swollen or uncomfortable, and I don't know what shoes I'm gonna wear. I might wear just some like simple like slip-on shoes that I have, but those can't get wet, so I think it'd be nice to have those as like a backup option if for some reason I want to take a shower. Who knows? Next, couple little things. I have this organic Earth Mama nipple butter. It's a pretty common brand, I think. And my hospital did say that they provided organic nipple butter for you, but I just thought it'd be nice to have one that I know that I'm comfortable with, and just in case, I don't know. You never know, because they say that they have certain things, but maybe the nurse that day doesn't know where it is, or it's not a common thing that a lot of people ask for, so I thought it would just be nice to bring mine since I have it. This next thing I have never used, but this is a nipple averter, and it's to help with breastfeeding, and I think it's Lancino brand, I want to say. Let's see if it will focus. It's essentially like a suction for your nipple. So when I was breastfeeding last time, I feel like a lot of my problems were that my nipples were kind of flat and the baby didn't have a lot to grip onto. Like most times he kind of was confused and like couldn't find enough to like suck. I don't know if that was really the problem, but that's what it felt like the problem was a lot of times. So I thought these would be good to just, in those times where I feel like my nipples aren't sticking out a lot, to like help suction them out. And it kind of helps you like a nipple shield. And I've heard a lot of people say that this worked better for them than a nipple shield if you have like really short or really flat nipples. So I used a nipple shield last time. I wasn't a huge fan. I know the hospital generally has nipple shields, so I figured I would just bring this, and then if I want to try nipple shield, maybe I can try that, but figured it was worth a shot. And it comes with this cute little carrying case that's really convenient, so I'm gonna just bring that and give that a try. Next, I just have a couple disposable nursing pads. These are the Medela brand. I think I just got these in like the Target welcome bag probably. So I just had them, but I have a lot more at home. I have reusable and disposable ones, so those will all mostly be at home. But I just thought, just in case the hospital didn't have any or I didn't feel like asking for them, I'd bring a couple of those. So that is everything in my bag, but I'm also gonna grab a charger. I got a 10-foot charger off of Amazon, and I know they don't work as well as a shorter charger, but it's just gonna be convenient to have a long charger in the hospital. So if it needs to reach like across the room, then we can do that. So I'm gonna grab that. It's actually in my purse right now. And then definitely have my phone. I'm gonna bring my camera and battery, memory card, charger, all of that kind of stuff. But that's all stuff that I'll probably grab last minute. And then my hairbrush and deodorant are things that I'll grab last minute too. So I think that's pretty much it for things that are gonna be physically in my hospital bag, or that I'm gonna grab when we run out the door to bring to the hospital. So next, let's talk about a couple things that I definitely want to have ready to go right when I get home. The first thing that I'm not going to grab and bring for you guys, but it is in my nightstand by my bed, and that is a heating pad. I have a pretty large one that I used last time, and I don't even remember why. I think people mentioned that it was helpful, and I thought I was going to have a vaginal delivery. But it still ended up being useful. So every time I breastfed, I would just plug it in, I would press it on my lower stomach, and it would just kind of make the cramping a little bit more manageable. It's just nice, like that warming feeling on your stomach when you're dealing with all that pain. So that is gonna be by my nightstand ready to go, because I'm sure I'm gonna wanna use that again. It was really helpful. That was like the only thing that I really could find that somewhat helped with that cramping, because it just got really bad and it kind of threw me off that it was that painful. The next thing that I'm gonna have ready to go is pads, because everyone bleeds. I found that honestly I bled less than I thought I was going to. I didn't find that I needed like the big diapers, and maybe that's because of the difference between a C-section and a vaginal delivery. They take out the placenta, they take out probably a lot of what would come out naturally during a C-section, I'm thinking, because I just felt like I didn't pass that much stuff. I didn't bleed that much, but maybe that's just my personal experience. So I didn't have the big Depends diapers or anything like that. I just used these Always. These are like Maxi Extra. It says extra heavy overnight. So these are like pretty thick, pretty monstrous pads. So here's like one of them. So I use these, honestly, and you can see like I have these from last time. I used like a handful of them for maybe a day or two, and then I just felt like I didn't need like a huge like thick pad. So this time around I also picked up these. These are Always Pure. They say pads free of chlorine bleaching, and these are just a really like thin pad, but it is an overnight pad, so it's not like, you know, the most basic thinness pad you can get, but I think this is going to be a lot closer to like what you would use on just a normal period, and so I think that's probably what's going to be appropriate for like the week or two after I have the C-section. I'll probably use those super thick ones for the first couple days and then switch over to those. If I'm remembering correctly from last time, I think that's going to work out pretty well. The next thing that I'm going to have right next to my bed, this, there's a bunch of different brands. This is essentially a silicone little like handheld manual pump, I guess you could say, but this can catch milk when you're nursing on one breast, and then you put this on the other one, so then if anything comes out while you're nursing, which a lot of people will catch like a decent amount of milk. So if you are trying to get like a little bit of a stash in the fridge going or in the freezer because you want to have the option to bottle feed, or if you're going somewhere, or you just don't want to waste any milk, you don't want it to just like all come out like in your bra or in your like nursing pad, then you can use this, and they're pretty inexpensive. On Amazon I think they're anywhere from like $10 to $15. I have the Nature Bond brand, but there's a lot of different brands. If you just do like silicone breast pump, I think that probably would get you like all of the different options that they have, but there's a lot of different brands that make like very similar ones. And then this last thing I loved because I just needed a lot of like soothing, because breastfeeding was so hard. I was doing a lot of pumping. My boobs were just really mad. So this is by Lancino. These are just like little gel beads, and they heat up in the microwave. They come with this little cover that you can put over it, but honestly I didn't even use a cover. I just heated this up for just a very short amount of time. I think it might have been like 20 seconds or something, and then you can put this, you either hold it on your boob just to feel comfort, or you can put it on while you're pumping. You can put it on inside your bra, and then it like holds it there really close, and it actually I think helps you get more milk when you're pumping because your breast is like warm and all the milk ducts are open when it's warm. So it helps you get more when you're pumping, but it also is just really soothing. If you feel like you have a clogged duct or you're getting mastitis or anything like that, that is not something to mess around with. You don't want to just wait around and see what happens, because if it turns into mastitis, it's just really painful, really bad. You feel like you have the flu essentially. So if you throw something like that on when you feel like those first signs of getting a clogged duct, then that is really going to help you. And actually I definitely had some clogged ducts at one point, and I put that on repeatedly and did some massaging, and I think it all like went away because it slowly got better over time, and I never developed mastitis. So that's definitely important to have something like that. You probably could just heat up like a towel or something like that and put that on as well, but that's just shaped nicely and just like really convenient to put in your bra if you want to, and it just worked out really well for me last time. So that is, I think, everything that I wanted to mention. I hope this video was helpful for you guys. I have right now about like 7-8 more days until I have my planned C-section, so it's getting really close. I'm getting really excited. The other thing I wanted to mention actually, so I mentioned that I packed a hospital bag for my baby, and I'm not going to show that to you guys because it's just like kind of boring. My husband's also going to pack a bag, but he's just going to pack you know, basic toiletries and clothes for him, nothing too exciting. We also have a bag packed full of snacks that we're probably gonna throw in my husband's bag that has like granola bars, Cheez-Its, like basic things that if we're really hungry, we know we have that. So we don't have to worry about going somewhere and getting something because we are gonna be there multiple days. So I would definitely recommend packing a few of your favorite snacks once you are recovering a little bit and you can start eating solid foods and you feel up to it. And then especially for your husband too, because he's probably gonna want some snacks throughout this process. And then the last thing that we did pack is a bag for my son because he is 22 months. He's gonna be going with my sister for at least like overnight. I think during the day he might spend a lot of time at the hospital with us and kind of taking turns between my husband and my sister watching him. But at night he's definitely gonna be with my sister. So we wanted a bag already packed so that we could just give it to her, and that has changes of clothes, diapers, wipes, a few toys, some snacks. So that is another bag that we packed that we have all ready to go for the day that we have a C-section, whenever that is, which is at this point looking like it's going to be the scheduled date. So that is everything that we have prepped for our hospital experience. I hope this was helpful for you guys, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and the bell button if you'd like to see more videos like this. I'm gonna have some fun postpartum and like meet my newborn type of videos coming up very soon. I do think I'm gonna get out one more pregnancy update before the C-section, so keep an eye out for that. And I think I am going to do just like a really informal nursery tour. We are moving in a few months, so the nursery is not completely like looking like a nursery. We don't have really anything like hung on the walls or anything, but we have most of what we need for the baby in the room and some cute little pieces here and there that I thought it would be fun to share with you guys. So I think in my next pregnancy update, I'm going to start it off by just doing a really informal nursery tour. So keep an eye out for that. I appreciate you guys watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.